The 40th anniversary edition is just upon us, aka Sim Update 11. In this video, we take a look at all the other big features that have just been revealed for Sim Update 11 that you might find be very interesting. As always, we have got all the big announcements and release news for the week, so let's jump into the video. Before we jump into this week's announcements, in these videos we try to bring you all the flight sim content in one place. So if that sounds right up your taxiway, please click that subscribe button, as 72% of people that watch the Oz Flight Simmer channel are not subscribed. It really helps us out, and it's much appreciated if you can click the little red button. Pre-flighting this week's previews and announcement news, and the first one goes to the team over at High Performance Group. These are the developers behind other projects such as the H135 and the H145 helicopters. They have announced the HPG hot air balloon. Yes, that's right, this is a hot air balloon, and it's the most realistic version of anyone in any simulator to date. This appears to be a very fun experience, and expect the hot balloon to be less study level or less complex than an airliner, but with that being said, the team looks like they have modeled it to a very high detailed state. Features included in the upcoming release is a detailed model of the interior and exterior, 17 liveries with all 4K PBR textures inside and outside of the balloon, 3D animated people including the operator of the balloon, designed and optimized for a VR. It even has its own EFB that has assistance for the steam gauges, showing the altitude and vertical speed. The HPG balloon is set to release this Friday, and by the time you watch this video, it may even be released. In some interesting announcements this week, the team over at Orbex, who are known for their detailed scenery and airport, announced a new aircraft pending release soon. The PAC 750X Stall. This aircraft is a multi-role utility aircraft and was built in New Zealand in the early 2000s and now used around the world for carrying passengers, cargo and skydiving ops. Orbex mentions that the PAC 750 will come with a great level of detail and in-depth inside and out of the aircraft. The cockpit will include working circuit breakers, accurate fuel and electronic systems, and custom-coded gauges. 4 different versions of the aircraft will be available, including different liveries. Orbex mentioned the release is only days away, and the team are planning on updating the package later down the track, which will include custom PT6 sound pack, fares, additional liveries, and landing challenges and bush trips. By the time you watch this video, it may even be released. Aerosoft this week announced and showcased their EFB for their forthcoming in-development Airbus A330. We haven't heard much from the team lately about the project, but this week we've been treated with a preview video of the EFB. From the looks of it, the EFB will integrate with SimBrief and chart integrations. However, simmers who don't use those subscriptions will be able to fetch data for weather reports at other airports, so it seems. The boarding process was showcased along with the weight and balance screens. You can manage your fuel, cargo, passenger loads, all from the EFB. No further updates of when we will see the Airbus A330 in our sims, but of course we will keep you posted on this one. In some exciting announcements, the team over at Just Flight confirmed they are developing a 747 Classic and an Airbus A300 B4-200 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This was announced this week, as originally these 2 aircraft were slated to be released for P3D and have been in development for some time now. This week the team announced they were ceasing the development for both those aircraft in P3D due to it not being a viable option. Just Flight said that P3D platform, the current user base is dropping. Just Flight then went on and confirmed they will instead develop these aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Currently, Just Flight have released one study airliner for the sim, which is the BAE 146, which has been very well received. The next is the BRJ to be released very soon, the Fokker F28 next year. The 747 and the A300 will be a great addition to the Just Flight fleet. Taxiing over to this week's release news, and Any Scenes this week releases one of the largest iconic airports in the world, which is LAX, Los Angeles International Airport. LAX is the busiest airport in the US, with 88 million passengers passing through its gates in 2019. Any Scenes version of LAX is based on the current state of the airport. The airport goes under regular construction for some time now, so the team promised some regular updates to keep it up to the real world modifications. Any Scenes are set to release some freeware scenery of Venice Beach sometime soon, which will really complement their LAX scenery nicely. Features included in the package is handmade ground textures, true-to-life airport landside recreations of custom ground decals, signposts, vegetation, parking barriers, and more. Bespoke taxi signs as they are in the real world. Custom-built jetways with realistic variations using PBR and animations, accurate logos, real-world decals, advertisements scattered throughout the airport. There is too many features to list in this video, but you can see from the video here, it is a lot of airport to go around. You can pick up your copy of NEC's Los Angeles Airport directly from their store. I'll leave a link in the description below. The next release for the week goes to the team over at India Fox Echo with the release of the Leonardo M346 Masterjet. The M346 was originally co-developed with a company called Yakovo, and the company named this aircraft as the Yak-AEM-130. The partnership did not succeed, and Leonardo Group went ahead and developed the 346 as it is known today, and it's used by many air forces around the globe such as Poland, Singapore, Italy, and Israel. Features include a detailed external and virtual cockpit with high-res textures and PBR, high-detailed textures based on the real-world aircraft, realistic HUD, MFD, and UFCP based on real-world manual, and the flight model is realistic performance based on public data. You can pick up your copy of the Leonardo M346 from India Fox Echo from a bunch of different stores, including in Just Flight One. I'll leave a link in the description below. UK 2000 this week releases another airport for the sim, this time it being Belfast City Airport. Situated 15 miles to the east of Belfast International Airport, the Belfast City Airport was opened in 1938 and it was the primary airport for the city for some time. Belfast City Airport serve many major airlines such including EasyJet, Ryanair, British Airways and others. Belfast City comes with a bunch of features including full detail buildings, high detail ground vehicles, realistic ground markings, high res ground images, animated jetways, detailed night lighting, and it has been developed with performance in mind. You can pick up your copy of Belfast City Airport from UK 2000 directly from their website, links below. Another aircraft release for the week. This goes to the team over at Aerosoft, released the Searay Elite for Microsoft Flight Simulator. The Searay was announced a few months back and now it's available in two versions, a light or a more advanced option. The Searay is a light sports aircraft with a higher wing push engine and it can fit 2 passengers and it can land on water or land. The difference between the two versions of the aircraft is that the light version will come with a detailed model with PBR textures inside and out, icing, windshield and rain effects, and realistic flight model all have been modeled. The advanced version of the aircraft will come with all of that with a home-built experimental version of the Searay with additions to an EFB. The EFB includes features such as moving maps, flight plan, weight and balance, interactive walk around and a few other features. You can pick up your copy of the Aerosoft Searay directly from their store. I'll leave a link in the description below for the advanced and for the light. This week's video is sponsored by us, the Ozflight Simmer channel. This week, the Ozflight Simmer channel has launched its all-new line of merchandise called the SimPilot. The SimPilot merchandise has been designed with the flight simulator enthusiast in mind. SimPilot caters for all sorts of sim pilots, whether you are a GA pilot, a glider pilot, a jet or airliner pilot. This merchandise will showcase your favorite aircraft category. The first SimPilot release includes airliner pilot. If you prefer flying those big tube liners, this release is for you. I'll leave a link in the description below of where you can pick up the SimPilot merchandise from the Ozflight Simmer channel. Thank you very much for your support. Lining up and waiting for this week's sim update news, and you may be wondering about the small mandatory update landing on your sims today. This is for an AirAct cycle up to cycle 2210. Unfortunately, it's not the holy grail and the magical cure to crash the desktops and advanced frame increases that some simmers were looking for. It's just an AirAct cycle update. This week over on the Microsoft blog, Sim Update 10 and World Update 10.11 have been released by the Microsoft team, and now they're shifting their focus over to the 40th anniversary edition, which is due next month. They are excited to share more information with us about the 40th anniversary over the coming weeks. Perhaps there is more than this than we have received which is a few more surprises that is than just the announcements of the aircraft so far. The team is still monitoring shared feedback around World Update 11 Canada. There are some areas from the community feedback that haven't been up to the standard they were expecting, so hopefully we'll receive some updates and some information later down the track on that. This week we received a new development roadmap, and it has arrived with only a few changes. Some of the inclusions is the release date of the 40th anniversary release teaser videos, the TBA which we talked about for December in last week's video, which we thought could be a world update number 12 that we mentioned. It's been taken off, and from the looks of it, the 40th anniversary will be the last update we will see in 2022. Taking a look at the latest wish list, we can get a bit of a glimpse of the extra features we talked about before that we may expect to see in Sim Update 11, which is aka the 40th anniversary. Unfortunately, WASM support for Xbox is showing a release for Sim Update 11, which is good, but it's also saying Sim Update 11 and 12 now, so hopefully it won't get pushed back and we'll see it next month. Scenery Gateway is scheduled for update number 12. This has now been into a closed beta with about 50 users, so it's on its way, but we're not going to see it till next year. Taxi Sign Editor was revealed this week as a new feature for the next Sim update, and number 11 basically gives you the option to edit the taxiway signs. Rendering update for DLSS 3 as it's preparing for the NVIDIA 4000 series of cards will be available for the next world update, and also something that's really exciting, which is FSR2 support, also known as Fidelity FX Super Resolution, is AMD's version of upscaling technology. This will be living in our Sims and hot on the heels of the NVIDIA DLSS releases in the next world update as well. Back to Fly will be available in Sim Update 11. This gives you the option as a glider to pick different flight levels to go to. I'm sure there's more than that, but the description was pretty vague. And of course, gliders and helicopters will be available or are on track to be available in Sim Update 11. I can't really see them missing out. I'm sure Jorg and the team have a lot more surprises than that. I believe that this update is going to be a pretty big one, as well as content and also a Sim update all in one. Should be a pretty big packed November. Moving on to the in-sim marketplace news. This week we've seen 30 new releases, which are 15 are on PC, which makes 15 on Xbox. This week's highlights is the Leonardo M346 Masterjet from Idiofox Echo, which is great to see they got it released on Xbox straight away. And something else that sneaked in, which is the F-117 Nighthawk from Aerial Simulations, which is the stealth fighter. We heard that this was available, or was in development I should say, weeks back, and it has gone straight into the marketplace for releases. The feature list is quite small and there's not much information about it, so bear in mind, take a good look at it before you purchase. Other products this week that is made up of the in-sim marketplace is liveries, sceneries, and airports. If you got this far in the video, keep watching right to the very end, as it really helps us out and it tells YouTube we're doing the right things. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel and you're part of the 72% of people that watch the Oz Flight Sim channel and not subscribed. Hit the little red button, it will really help us out. We also stream every Sunday and Wednesday at 7:30 PM GMT plus 10, so if you want to join our large multiplayer flight, please come along. And we're also streaming on Friday mornings now at 9:30 AM GMT plus 10, so that really help you North American people, so don't have to get up too early for the other streams. I'm going to leave you with another video here. I want you to go and check that one out, and I will see you over there.